Welcome to ENC 3416. I am your instructor, Dr. Vito Dismalish. Over the next 15 weeks, we're going to be studying media and go figure writing and also what makes it new. As you are taking this course, let me say up front that this course is composed of several different elements, one of which is online writing. So that's the thing that most of us come into this class assuming will be part of it. So we're going to learn web writing. We're going to learn a little bit about SEO and keywording, but this course is also deeply theoretical and historical. So it's not simply about how to write for the web. We have a whole nother course for that. This course incorporates web writing also with how we got here, historically, culturally, financially, and in all sorts of ways that writing can intersect with systems of power. So that is the through line from the entire course. We're in fact going to start our study of new media by looking at really, really old media. We go all the way back to caveman days to figure out how our earliest Homo sapien ancestors would have communicated through media. And we look at every possible combination of what that means. By the end of this course, yes, we are firmly entrenched within the 21st century. We are talking about computer literacy. We're talking about how to write for the web, social media engagement, and all that sort of stuff that we're reasonably familiar with in the day-to-day of our lives. But to get there, we are building up a set of historical and critical perspectives to better understand that these are things that we can interrogate, that these are things that are not inevitable, that are not simply circumstantial. There's a saying, and I use it throughout this course, the last thing a fish would be aware of is water. Similarly for us, when we think about writing in new media, we just think, oh, well, we're writing and like maybe it's online or whatever. But there's all kinds of exigencies to consider when we make media. And that's exactly what this course is about. So I want to just in the short introductory video, show you what to do here in Canvas. Obviously, I want to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Dr. Malish. This is what I look like. This is what I sound like. When you send me a message, there is a real person on the other end, me. And hopefully I can just show you how to operate this course and alleviate any sort of confusion as we move forward. So let me just get my share screen going here. And there we are. All right, so this is your homepage for this course. This is the ENC 3416 home/landing page, and there's a picture of me. Look at that handsome devil in a suit. Here's some essential information for you, a basic walkthrough of the course. The homepage gives you the whole thing, sort of nuts and bolts. I think it's more productive if we first look at the syllabus. And here, oh, look, there's me again, looking sharp. That's actually an older picture. You can tell because my beard is shorter. I digress, as I so often do. This is 3416. It's fall of 2022. Let's have a look here. ENC 3416 focuses on composing for the web using established web-based technologies. Students build on the skills you've developed in 1101 and 1102 to produce polished, published nonfiction work native to new media formats. So while we are studying very old media, you will be doing so in a new media way. One of the first things we'll talk about is how to write web-styled content. A lot of what you produce will not be MLA, will not be APA, will not be simply a Word doc put together and sent in through Canvas. You're going to style it. You're going to make use of web usability tools. These are the course objectives and goals. Understand the ways media affects message is number one, looking at how our various media have changed what we say and how we say it over time. There's a whole bunch of policies. Some of them are more important than others. Some of them are more accessible than others. The big one, we do have prerequisites. You should have finished 1101 and 1102 with a grade of C or better. And you should definitely keep in mind that this is an advanced level English course. There is a pretty serious research load coming your way. And we are dealing with some texts that are borderline graduate level. We will give you, for example, substantial academic articles from the 20th and 21st centuries, and you will be expected to augment them with additional scholarship using the library. I only make you buy one book, and if I'm being honest, you don't even really have to buy it. You can go find a copy any which way. It is Marshall McLuhan's The Medium is the Massage. We dive deeply into that text in week 6 Everything else you can find online or similar. Expectations in this course, here's some things you're expected to do, go figure. When you communicate with me, you can use the Canvas inbox just by clicking on your inbox link over here on the other side of the page. You can also email me directly, vmalesh, that's VMALESH @fiu.edu. For discussion forums, please be collegial, please be polite. We're all friends here. Quizzes, there are a grand total of 17 writing assignments or quizzes or discussions. You've got 3 projects and then 1 final project. And we'll go through those on a week-by-week basis. Late work loses points, and this is all actually covered under the grading schema. I don't want to beat this to death right now. Let me move forward here and show you these grading and performance measures. This is how I evaluate your work. I use something called labor-based grading. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're doing, you're learning. There's all kinds of fine details and quality that I might issue a corrective on. So for example, as you learn how to write in web style, you're going to make some mistakes. There's some things you do that simply won't be effective or won't be in keeping with best practices. I will tell you that. And next time you can correct them. But if you wrote a pretty solid article with appropriate research and attempted web writing, I imagine that you learned a lot in that process, and I think you get credit for that. So submitting work satisfactorily and on time is worth full credit. I don't believe that if you turn in something satisfactory that's satisfactory and maybe missing an element or two, maybe it's not perfect. Hey, you are trying, you are working, you are learning, and I recognize that. Now that term satisfactorily, obviously that's at my discretion. But I try to make it clear what it is I'm looking for. And if you're ever not certain, just contact me. Again, email or through the Canvas inbox. If your work is unsatisfactory, I mark it 0 and you can revise and resubmit. You just lose a few points off the top. It's not my goal to fail anybody. If you turn work in late, this is not only a pet peeve of mine, this is just basic professionalism. If you turn it in late, points come off immediately. If it's within a day, even if it's a second, that's 10% off. If it's within that first week, you lose 20%. If it's within 2 weeks, 30% gone. So it's just under a C. It's technically not a pass at that point. If it's more than 2 weeks late, partial credit, 50%. There's some exceptions, most notably that has to do with the end of the term. Anything due in weeks 14, 15, and 16 really has to be in on time and can't be remediated, but we will talk more about that as it approaches. These tables show you how your grade is calculated. Your raw number of assignments and how they're scored is in the top table. The lower table shows you your grade ranges. An A starts at 92%, which is actually pretty generous. Some classes start at 93 or even 95. I start at 92. 73% is the bottom cutoff for a C. And below that, it doesn't matter. If you get 72.999%, you still have to take this course over to get credit for it. So there's no granularity about a C- or a D+. They don't matter. Either you get a C or better, or you get a D, which is technically not a failure, or you get an F, and that's just no credit at all. All right, for makeup work and extra credit, I don't do extra credit. I find it immensely distracting for everybody. Makeup work, if you miss an assignment deadline, you can do the assignment late. I will still collect it. Just get it to me ASAP. And then here's a list for course conflict resolution. If anything goes wrong, I'm the first person you should talk to. Beyond that, there are some people within the English department who can help you out. Again, back here on the homepage, just to backtrack for a second, you'll see an announcement from me at least twice a week. I kick off the week and then I wrap the week, and that's going to be right here under the headline for the course. So definitely look out for that. The bulk of what you're going to do is right here on this link, and that's the modules. So if we click there, you're going to see some course resources. Whoops, you can tell I was working in this module because everything is still open. Let me go back up to the top here. We do 1 module per week, thereabouts. Here under course resources, you find some things that are here to help you out. Notice that we've got different PDF and doc versions of things. Some of this is hopefully just interesting. Some of this is absolutely essential. You should look through all of it. For module 1, which is where you're really going to get started, I give you a quick how-to on how to operate the course. I introduce you. Every week, you're going to have discussion notes from me. So this is where I talk about what we are doing for the week. And in this case, it's a broad survey of what writing and new media mean. So let me back out of here. We go below that, and when I am asking for web-styled articles, which I often will do, you're going to want to look at this guideline. It's called web-styled writing, and U is in all caps. It's not particularly accessible, but it's emphatic. What you'll see here is a demonstration of particular web writing practices. So I'm using images, I'm making tables, I'm including links, I've got headers. My content is chunked. That means that the paragraphs are short and there's a goodly amount of white space between paragraphs. Scroll through here. Not only will you see web writing enabled, you'll also read about how to do it. So I describe the tactics that we're going to employ and I demonstrate them reasonably well. Please know that Canvas is always going to mess with your formatting a little bit. That's why I encourage you, whenever I ask you to do a web-styled writing assignment, make a PDF. A PDF does not lose its formatting in Canvas. Canvas wrecks everything except PDFs. It's like rock, paper, scissors, but it's, I don't know, Word, PDF, Canvas. Canvas beats, or I'm sorry, PDF beats Canvas. Canvas beats everything else. All right, you'll also have, once you read through my discussion notes and introductions, this is how to get started. After that, I have a core reading list for you. These are external documents. Some of them point right back to stuff you need. Some of them are articles in the outside world. This one I think is really interesting. This is a 20-minute video on the history of the entire world. Some seem to not have a very good perspective on the timeframes that we're talking about. We are looking at the totality of archaeologically documented existence of humans on this planet, which is something like tens of thousands of years. We talk about media artifacts that no living person can trace their way back to. So if we talk about something like the Lascaux cave paintings, those are something like 10,000 years old. And that's how far back we go. So we will look at things like, the very first musical instruments found are tens of thousands of years old, and they're flutes made out of leg bones and so on. So we are talking about some very, very, very old stuff, and it's important that we think about how old. It's also important to contextualize how rapid and exponential change has been in just the last few hundred years. So we move into modernity in the second segment of the class, and that's to say nothing of the absolutely radical explosion of technology and communication in the last few decades. That is the last third of our class, and that corresponds to this section of the video. So I really do recommend that you give that a look. I've also got some supplemental reading. I never quiz you on supplemental reading. I'll talk about it. I'll engage with it in my discussions, but you're never going to be quizzed on it. Speaking of quizzes, once you get through your reading list, you have work to do. And generally speaking, every week you're going to have 2 different assignments. This week you're going to have a discussion. So you're going to get on, you're going to introduce yourself. Discussions have 2 deadlines. You should make a post around midweek, and then you come back and you respond. So in this case, I want you to introduce yourself. You're going to talk about the concept of new media. You're going to do that. I have it here by Wednesday. Normal deadline is going to be Thursday. I'll probably change that before this goes live. And then you will come back before Sunday and respond to the rest of your classmates. And of course, if anything's late, you lose points, and it's subject to the usual grading guidelines. All right, last thing from Canvas I'm going to talk to you about today. You will also have this short project. This is project 1. Project 1 is actually not due until week 4, and this is a big one. So notice I'm even saying you have 3-4 weeks to work on this, and your effort should reflect that. Your very first project is to communicate using very, very, very old media. So you're going to research this idea of what very old or ancient media are, and you're going to try to use them. And then within the details, I've got some specifics I want you to do. You're going to make an artifact. You're going to show me that artifact via photograph or video. And then you're going to write about it using both not only a little bit of research and normal writing, which you will then produce in web style, but you will also complete the affordances and limitations worksheet, where I ask you 10 questions about how different aspects of production affect your messaging. So it is a little bit of a lengthy assignment prompt, and please know it's all there to help you. If anything seems confusing, maybe it's over-explained and you can ignore that part. If you get it, good, get on with it. But if something's confusing and you're not sure what I'm asking you for, please know that I am here to help you. You can always email me or always send me a message in Canvas. So give that a good look. And yeah, it does look like a very long assignment sheet because it is, but it's also a project. This is a substantial portion of your grade. So I think it merits a hefty explanation. All right, so I think that's good enough in terms of our Canvas overview, in terms of how to navigate it, in terms of what the assignments are going to look like. I remind you again, my name is Dr. Malish. You can reach out to me at any time. I'm happy to help. I really like doing this. I really like writing. I really like new media. And I really like helping you to come to a better understanding of it. So if at any time you have any questions, if there's something you'd like to know from me, something you want to talk more about, just hit me up. You can email me through the Canvas inbox, or you can send me a message directly, VMALESH at sorry, forgot the name of our university. VMALESH at, look at that, it's right behind me, FIU.edu. VMalish at FIU.edu. Welcome to ENC 3416. I think you're going to have a lot of fun in this class. Remember to approach it with the spirit of play and get ready to do some research. If you can do that, I think we're going to have a great time together. Welcome aboard.